In this video, I'm going to open that door with my face, like this.
Your door has been unlocked.
This is the old Stick Lab lock, which I did do in a very early video on the channel, and it's been doing well for about, what, 4 years, 3 years, something like that. But it doesn't have facial recognition, and of course that's what we must have for locks, I think. Now, jokes aside, SwitchBot, which I've done a lot of videos for on this channel because I'm a big fan of their products, because they work, not because they send me free stuff, just that's an important differentiation, have sent their brand new SwitchBot Lock Ultra. And on its own, this is pretty cool. So I did the SwitchBot Lock Pro, God, I'm gonna mess that up, it's hard to say, SwitchBot Lock Pro in the previous video, and that's still going strong. It had a software update at one point which made all the difference, and it's just been perfect ever since. Really, really good. We use that for the Airbnb, so we can give that to guests, give them a code. But now there's the Ultra Lock. So this on its own is very similar, I think, to the Pro. What was it called? SwitchBot Lock Pro. Told you I'd mess it up. But this is slimmer. It's a newer design. It's probably better, etc., etc. But haha, there's also this, which is, what's it called? The Keypad Vision, and that well, it scans your face and lets you in that way. So you don't need hands to unlock the door, which is kind of neat. And of course it also has buttons on it, etc. So there's like, I can't remember, 12 different ways of opening the door now or something, because we need more ways. But we'll go through those a bit later. So the plan is to replace this with a traditional lock and handle, because this doesn't come with a handle, it's just a lock. So we got to actually add that. And then we'll take this out of the box, and then we'll figure out how to install it, and I'll go through some of all the amazing features, because I'm sure there are many, and we'll test it out and see how well it works, especially the 3D facial recognition. That should be interesting. But that's the plan. So first is probably to get that off and put another lock on. All right, let's see what's in the boxes. So I've got my OH&S approved opening device here. Ooh, I'm expecting big things from this because it's always really nicely packaged. It's like the unified world of IoT devices. So that's an outline of the Lock Ultra. Simply smaller, faster, quieter, better. Well, we'll be the judge of that. So in here we have that. Here's the actual lock. And that's a button for opening it. You can turn this as well to turn the lock itself, be like a deadbolt. Here's where you attach it with it, and okay, so that means it's probably adjustable so it fits any type of lock kind of thing. We have, this will probably come off, yep, so that's where the battery goes up there. Well, that looks pretty good, that's all metal. Quite nice, yep. Here we have a USB-C cable, that's probably for charging it, okay. The Pro used batteries, yeah. And we have this is the battery case. Oh, so this is actually not, okay, so the Lock Pro came with, like, you put AA's or AAA's or something in it. This looks like it has to be charged with USB. Very good. And this says 4,200 or 4,200 milliamp hours. So this is about a laptop, a mobile phone battery. That's not bad for a lock. And of course, you're not going to use it anywhere near as much as a smartphone. So neat design. Okay. Yep, I figured there'd be many more things. So here is the user manual. We'll definitely need that because they're always a bit, you need to read that properly to figure that out. We have it in 18 different languages. And here is an A and a B, so that's usually how your lock performs. So you need one or the other. So you can see an outline of a lock there and there, all right? Then there is, what are these? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 on them. And these would be different ways of attaching to your lock as well. Remember, this is a retrofitting system. Okay. And then this, again, we have the bezel for it somehow. So that probably goes on there something. Yep, okay. And we have even more things, stickers and mounting things. And these are the wood paneling, or I mean, fake plastic wood paneling that you can put on for a bit of design choice, sure. And then we have, yeah, a whole bunch of labels and tools and whatnot. And even more things. They're like the same as these, I think. Okay, more of those. There's also a magnet, and that's for knowing whether the door is open or closed. So that sits on the door frame. All right, and then we have, of course, the SwitchBot Keypad Vision. This is kind of the fun part of it. That's a lock. We know how the lock works. This could be interesting. So let's try and see what's actually in it. So that's the Keypad Vision itself. And that has, I'm guessing this bit here is what scans your face, and there's all the keys for it. There's fingerprint, and of course there's some battery thing. What's down here? USB-C. Okay, that's probably for charging it as well. And, oh, that's a button. That's probably a doorbell. Ding, ding. That looks, it feels really nice. It feels really sturdy. Excellent. And this would be all the mounting stuff for it. Yep, there's a mounting plate and all sorts of bits. Cool. All right, yeah, whole lot. Look at that. Woo! But yeah, I think next step will be to try and install it on the door. New lock is in because the old big smart Stick Labs lock that was on there doesn't fit with the SwitchBot Lock Ultra, but lots of locks do. So I just want to show you a couple of the ways that you might install this, because you get all sorts of things with SwitchBot. It's pretty cool. So here's the lock, of course. There's the lock itself. It's got to go over there, right? So this bit here is what catches something. Now that is not going to catch that, and you get these adapters, basically adapter plates that you put in, but I don't have a lock that looks like this or like that, so I can't use these, right? Otherwise you'd put those over and the lock will come through and it'll all be lovely. Instead I have this thing, which is a global adapter for other types of lock, and this just catches this like that, right? So this will fit any of these sort of thumb lock things. And then that goes into here. Neat, isn't it? But this means now that it's positioned incorrectly. So you got to put this on, which then you put that in there, and then that over there, and now it sits perfectly, right? So my point of showing you all this is that this is my experience with SwitchBot, and has been for years. It is so well thought out. They have thought of almost every scenario that you could possibly come out for, something like locks. There's tons of different ones. It's been the same for my curtain openers and my Venetian blind openers, and the blind I did recently, the roller blind. I'm a big fan of the engineering. I must say, it's always really nicely done and not hard to figure out. So yay. So next step is to obviously put this on. We're going to put the facial recognition vision opener thingy on the outside, and then we'll set it all up and we'll see where we go from there. Hello. If you're interested in getting one of the Lock Ultras from SwitchBot, check out the link down in the description below. Depending on when you see this video, there might even be a bit of discount. Could be. And in any case, if you like this content and want me to create more, consider subscribing to the channel, because this year I'm going for 50,000. Sounds crazy. 50,000 subscribers, and we're getting there. Almost 30,000 right now at time of recording. So yeah, click that subscribe button and check out the member section. You can become a member of the channel as well. And there's super thanks, and there's put a comment. Got questions about the Lock Ultra or the Vision Keypad Vision Enhancer Ultra Deluxe Pro? Let me know. All right, back to the video. The Door Lock Ultra is on, and the Smart Vision Enhancer Pro Ultimate Premium, whatever that was called, the Vision thing is on outside. We'll do that in just a minute. But I want to show you all the features of this lock. So I've already installed it, I've already adopted it, I've already done the customary firmware upgrade, and yes, I know there's a hole here from the previous lock. We'll fill that in due course, but just not in this video. But I've now installed it here as Chris's door, because we're at Chris's place, and it's pretty simple. There's not really a lot to it, which is what I like smart devices that just work. It's fantastic. Well, I think it just worked. We only just installed it. I have a big button here. I've calibrated it. You do that as part of the setup. It's super easy. It takes about 30 seconds. So now I can press the big button, and one thing I did notice compared to the Door Lock Pro is this is way quicker. Like, it seems to have much more movement in the thing. So if you go, it's quite quick. But that's good. No problem at all. It unlocks and locks really nicely. There's something called a quick key if your door has a mail slot. So this is, we can try and click setup. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Enable quick key, so we can lock or unlock your door automatically based on your locked device's status. So you can press it on here as well. And I think that's that quick key part of it. Obviously, if you have a mailbox slot in your door, you don't want someone to come in and press it, right? So that's why you can disable it. All right, I get it now. Cool. Lock only or unlock only. We just have lock and unlock. It's fine. There's no hole in the door apart from that one. But anyway, so the quick key is done. We set that up. I have paired it with the keypad outside, but again, we're gonna look at that in just a second. You can also get a video doorbell or a remote. We can emergency unlock it, or we can we'll look at the locks. So I am going to show you some of the settings here, because there's a few things that are kind of interesting. The basic settings are just sound. We can turn the sound off if you don't want it. She does talk a bit inside this thing. It says a few things once in a while. We can turn that off. Remote unlock reconfirm. So if you're not near it, so not Bluetooth, do you want to press twice to confirm it? That you want to unlock, that's fine, we can do that. And the door lock type is a cylinder lock, yeah, so we can recalibrate if we wanted to. We're not going to do that. Quick key, we just set that up. Alarms, if you leave the door ajar, we can get an alarm. So obviously there's a little magnet here that tells you whether the door is open or closed. We get an alarm for if it's open. We can leave alarm for if it's left unlocked, but on the farm here we leave things unlocked all the time, so we don't want to put any of those on. Abnormal battery level. When the battery level drops below 20% or the main pack is not installed, your device will emit sound alerts. Oh, okay, fair. Yep, I'll have that. If it starts beeping, that's probably good to know. By the way, the battery is just a USB-C powered battery. You can take out and power with USB-C. Quite nice. Auto lock. Do we want to auto lock it? If we put that on, then you say, please test indoors first, because you might get locked out. Right, so after a certain period of time, you can auto lock the door if you want to. Or relock. We'll lock your door if it's been unlocked after the specified time, no matter if your door is open or closed, right? So there's sort of automated things. Again, it is home automation. By the way, we'll get to home assisted a bit later as well, see how that works. Auto lock, we did that. Calibrate lock, we can do that and calibrate the magnet. Night latch settings. So that's just if you need a key to open your unlocked door from the outside, you can enable this night latch mode. We don't have that. Rotation speed. Oh, so that's actually, I didn't know you could change that. Oh, it's on high. Okay, let's put it on standard and just see what it does. Because it's quite fast, as I mentioned. Let's just see how fast that is. That sounds like the Door Lock Pro that I installed in the other video. So actually I like that better. It sounds kind of aggressive otherwise. So yeah, that's better. No, details. Partially lock settings, which I don't know what is. You want to enable your device will apply partially lock settings for control using the quick keypad. Oh, okay, I don't know exactly what partially lock is. I'm not gonna put that on. And night mode, auto unlock. Auto unlock is what? Your lock device will automatically unlock when your mobile phone is within the geofence and connects to your lock device via Bluetooth. Huh, neat. So if my phone connects via Bluetooth to this, it'll auto unlock. That could be handy. That could be handy, but we might enable that later on. I'm not sure. At least I know it exists. Third-party services is on any SwitchBot device now. And here's the cool thing. If you haven't looked at SwitchBot for a while, most, if not all, of their devices now are Home Assistant approved or compatible by default. Like, you don't have to do special things with integration things. They just work. There used to be a lot of them that work, but not all. But this now is also Home Assistant certified, approved, whatever it's called. But also it works with Alexa, Assistant, SmartThings, Homey, IFTTT, Matter, and also Apple HomeKit, I believe now is also supported, but don't quote me on that one. So yeah, a lot of integration points. That's one of the really cool things about SwitchBot. Their software works well, but if you don't like it, use something else. It's cool. NFC is just, you can tap a card, you can set that up. There's an installation guide and some firmware and battery information here. Again, there is a main pack. You can take that out and charge it with a USB-C, and there's a backup battery. So you should never run out of battery. I like it. That's it for the lock. There's not a lot to it really. It's mostly just settings you sort of look at once and then you set. The rest is just unlock and lock, as it should be. It shouldn't get in the way. So let's have a look at the Facial Vision Recognizer Pro Ultra Deluxe thing. So there's the SwitchBot Keypad Vision, as it's called, because it'll take a face scan. We'll do that in just a second. But you don't have to use, well, you don't have to use any keypad with your lock. It's optional. You can also just use a standard keypad here, which I used in the last video for the Lock Pro. That works a treat, and you get, you know, codes, and there's a fingerprint scanner as well and everything. But we now have the Keypad Vision. So first of all, I'll create a passcode. So I'm on the screen here. I haven't set anything up. I've updated the firmware because there's always a firmware update. So I'm going to add a permanent passcode. Okay, like that. Click next, and we're going to call this Lars's last passcode. That'll do. It was passcode. Save that. So that was simple. Nothing special about that. That should work now. If I press it in, type it in. Let's try face entry. This is the new exciting thing. So face entry, we're gonna press plus, permanent face. It's a permanent face, yeah. Okay, so we installed this at about 1.4 meters. So that should give you most heights from about 1.4, 1.3, something like that, up to about 2 meters in height according to SwitchBot. So that's why it's at this height on here. Yes, I have completed that. That's what it's telling you. Stand 0.6 to 0.9 meters in front of the keypad, arm's length. So I'll probably be out of frame, but we'll do that. Face the Keypad Vision directly, stand straight, and ensure your face is fully visible. No hats, sunglasses, or masks for optimal entry and blah, blah, blah. Don't wear a helmet. Okay, got it. So start adding. I'm going to stand here.
Let's get started with face.
Okay, I think that was it. That was pretty quick. So we're going to call this Lars's mug. I'll save that. Let's see if it actually works. Verify your face entry to ensure recognition. Okay. I'm going to stand over here again. We're going to start testing.
Your door has been unlocked.
It worked. That was super simple. Like, now, of course, does it work well at night, etc.? We're going to find out. But for now, that works pretty well. So finish that. Okay. Something went wrong during face entry. Is that because the door was already open? So I'm not sure why it says something went wrong during face entry, because it seems to work. Yeah, walk up to it.
Step a little closer to the device.
She's telling me what to do. Shut up. So I can add a fingerprint as well, which I will. That's pretty simple. Start adding. There you go. Very good. So it's simple. It should be simple, right? Really, really basic. NFC card. I think. Oh, supported cards. They may have changed that. SwitchBot card, SwitchBot Wallet Finder card, IC card, NFC enabled mobile phone. Oh, let's see if it works with the phone, because it didn't on the Lock Pro. Permanent. Okay. Failed to add. See again. Failed to add. I had the same problem with the Lock Pro, and this is a different phone even, so I'm not sure.
Step a little closer to the device.
Shush. The SwitchBot NFC cards definitely work. You can see I already had one in there, but I'm not sure why the phone isn't working. That I can't solve right now. But let's just have a quick look at some of the settings. Face entry settings, you can trigger it automatically, which I put on, manual or in a custom time frame. Recognition sensitivity, low, medium or high. High, short range, we're going to put medium. I think that's probably makes more sense usually. And we can disable an interval after it's scanned your face where it doesn't scan it. So 15 seconds, that's fine. We have some lock button settings. We can enable the lock button, that's up on here. We want that. So you can take that off when...
Step a little closer to the device.
This is very persistent. So you can enable that if you want or not, depending on whether you want to press that after the code or not. Enable is fine.
Please step a little closer to the device.
Where's the audio? Mute. That's better. We can apparently set some custom buttons. Touch setup to enable it. I missed what it was. Anyway, we can select a function for the button. So there's rings here, paired device. So we can actually set up, oh, okay, we can pair that with Chris's door. Okay, so when we ring here, it should ring from in there. It should be like a doorbell thing. Okay, so if we had other devices, we could get that to make noise, I'm assuming. Or we can activate a scene. So it could be when you press there, you turn some lights on or something, like a scene like that. Okay, that's kind of neat. Because again, if you haven't looked at SwitchBot for a while, they've really invested in making everything works together inside of their ecosystem. Now, I always want to put into Home Assistant because I want it to work with other things, but yeah, there's a lot of integration points within their own devices as well. We can disable the keypad completely if we don't want to use the keypad. I don't want to do, I do want to use the keypad. Removal alerts, yes. This is one of the cool things. If anyone tries to remove this, so you need a little special pin that comes with it to now unlock it and to take it off. If you do that, you get an alert in the phone. And I'm not just talking a notification, it makes noise. It is loud, and this makes noise as well. So you will know when someone tries to tamper with it. So we'll leave that on. Audio settings, I just muted her, you saw that. Fast unlock. If enabled, your device will respond unlocking commands more quickly, but the battery may drain much faster. Okay, not sure exactly what the difference is with that. I'll leave it on, sure. Device pairing, we've already done that. It's paired to the door lock like we saw before. And there's some installation guide and firmware and battery, etc. And this is also USB-C powered thing. There's a USB-C port at the bottom. You can plug it back in. Don't know how long the battery will last. I'm assuming quite a while. Otherwise it would be an annoying thing to have to charge it all the time. Cool. All right, that's all the features. Face recognition. Yay, it opens the door with my face. All right, just so you know that it's not all fake, we're going to do a test with my face that works and another face that doesn't work. So hang on, first I'm going to do this. That worked. Door unlocked. Okay, I'm going to lock it again. All right, door locked. Now number 2 face. Access denied. Doesn't work. All right, nighttime. It's cold as well. But anyway, I want to test if this works at night. I mean, I've already done it. I know it works, but I want to show you because it's pretty dark. There's a few lights around, as you can see. There's a few garden lights and whatnot, but the camera's compensating a bit, but it is quite dark. But I have also tested it in pitch black, and because this is a sort of infrared sort of scanner, it doesn't matter if there's light or not. So let me show you. Again, I walk up to it and it goes white here. There you go. And green. And that opens. Ta-da! It works just as well in the evening. Now, the only thing that also someone in the comments when I posted a picture of the project on the channel did comment and say, there was Steve, I think, actually said it. It's a little bit annoying. This is the only thing is that now I've turned the audio off on that, right? If you have the audio on and someone steps up to it, you see it goes white here like that, right? And then if they, well, got me anyway. If they don't are being recognized, if they don't have access to your house, it will still say, please step closer. So you get this when you have guests or visitors, it'll constantly go, please step closer, even though that'll never work for them. I've taken the audio off because I think audio in general is a bit annoying. I don't need all the noises everywhere, only for specific things, but that's the only thing. At night, it works. Could you even see my face? I'm not sure. Anyway. All right, so far so good, but of course there is one more thing that we need to investigate, and that is Home Assistant. So I am here in my Home Assistant instance, and it's my main page. Here's all my water things, which I've done videos on as well. And I want to see where this SwitchBot Lock Ultra has showed up, because it should just show up. That's what SwitchBot has promised, as I mentioned earlier. So on the settings here, I'm going to go to my integrations. And as any good Home Assistant person knows, you need to have certain integrations that are broken at any one time. So I do. My Elgato lights decides to disconnect all the time from Wi-Fi, so they're always, well, I've given up. Govee hasn't had an update, so I probably need to find some new lights for my Lego room, etc., etc. There's always something to fix. Well, at least that's my experience. But there are two different ways that you can connect SwitchBot devices, Bluetooth or cloud. I have both because SwitchBot Bluetooth is more instant, it's more immediate, it's local, and that's like my thermometers and my SwitchBot actual bot that does the little thing. But other things are through the cloud, which means they usually connect through a hub. So the SwitchBot hub is how SwitchBot devices can connect to a common gateway and get internet access, essentially. So my SwitchBot cloud here has 9 devices, and you can see one of them is Chris's door, which is the one we've just installed, Smart Lock Ultra, as it says over here. So it's already in here. I have not added it. It just showed up once it connected to a hub. So the lock itself connects via Bluetooth to your phone, as we saw, this Bluetooth connection. But in order to get it into Home Assistant, it needs to go through a hub. At least that's my experience. If I'm mistaken on that, let me know in the comments. But it's in here. So let's see what we get for that Lock Ultra. As I expected, not a whole lot, because it's supposed to be simple, right? I can unlock it or lock it. I have a battery indicator. That is kind of handy. I do get alert for batteries, for any kind of battery. There's a whole video on that as well, actually, on how to get alerts for any kind of low battery. And then there is the door sensor as well, which we could use for other things if the doors open or close, you know. And then there's some calibration diagnostics. But that's it. There's not much else to it, but it's just in here, right? So for example, if I want to add this to the dashboard, I want to add this to my devices, like that. And we can just add that to the dashboard. That's fine. Chris's door there. And now we can see over here under devices that it has been added over here, right? Now I'll probably add it to the doors eventually, but now I can just unlock it from here. And what I use a lot on my phone are these shortcuts. So on Android phones, you can create little shortcut widgets, which I use for my gate opener, for door locks, for turning on my heaters. So just one single tap, that's quite handy. But that is the door lock. It's in here. I didn't have to do anything other than having a hub next to it. But I do that anyway, because a few devices need the hub. As you can see, if I go back here to the cloud, you can see these 9 devices are the Chris's Place hub itself. So that's what the door connects to, the door lock. And by the way, it just does that. There used to be a pairing that you had to say, oh, which hub am I connected to? No, I don't know when it changed, but now it just connects. It's very nice. There's the cottage door lock, the cottage meter pro, so that's the thermometer, an outdoor thermometer. I thought that would just be Bluetooth, but anyway. And then I have a couple of other thermometers here as well. But some of these are also on the Bluetooth side of things. You can see here the Lego room sensor is also on Bluetooth, for example, as is the ensuite. So it does both, which makes sense. Excellent. So that's the SwitchBot Lock Ultra and the Keypad Vision. I think I got it right this time. Hey, I've used it now for 4 days, and it's stable. It just works. It hasn't got jammed once. The vision recognition thing for your face works all the time. The fingerprint's been good. I can't really fault it. Apart from that one thing that Steve also pointed out, that it will shout at your guests if you have the audio on the keypad because it doesn't recognize them. That is just a software update away, and hopefully that'll be fixed. But other than that, let me know in the comments. Which bit would you like to see added or changed or fixed? Let me know. I'm keen to know what I am using, but so far it's really good. I love that it's in Home Assistant natively. I'm going to use that a lot for other SwitchBot devices that I have planned. I have more. Yes. It is one of my favorite IoT brands, just because it works so well. Engineering is perfect. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoy the content and you would like me to do more, consider subscribing, that big red button down below. If you really want to support the channel, consider being a member. You can give a super thanks or leave a comment, and I will reply to you if you have a question or a comment. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.